Join me as I dive deep into the history and meaning of Lent, and I'm going to uncover the real reason behind this age-old tradition. Lent is a significant period in the Christian calendar that's often misunderstood or overlooked, but it's an incredibly powerful tool for spiritual growth and renewal. It's a time when many Christians around the world prepare for Easter, the most important celebration in the Christian faith. But what exactly is Lent, and why do Christians observe it? In many Christian traditions, Lent is a 40-day period of reflection, fasting, and prayer that leads up to Easter Sunday. It's a time to reflect on one's relationship with God, to repent of past mistakes, and to renew one's commitment to their faith. But despite its significance, many people, even Christians themselves, don't fully understand the true purpose of Lent. So what's the real story behind Lent? Is it just a time to give up chocolate or soda? Or is there something more profound at play? That's what we're going to explore in this video. Moving on to common misconceptions about Lent. Many people think that Lent is all about giving up something you love, like a favorite food or activity. While that's true for some people, it's not the primary purpose of Lent. Others believe that Lent is only for Catholics, but that's not true either. Many Protestant denominations observe Lent as well. Some even think that Lent is a time to earn God's favor or to prove oneself worthy, but that's not what it's about at all. Another misconception is that Lent is just a bunch of arbitrary rules and regulations. But as we'll see, every aspect of Lent has a deep spiritual significance. From fasting to prayer to charitable giving, each practice is meant to draw us closer to God and to help us reflect on what's truly important in life. Some people view Lent as a time to focus on themselves, to become a better person, or to achieve some kind of spiritual badge of honor. But that's not what Lent is about. It's not about earning spiritual points or impressing others. It's about humbling ourselves before God and seeking a deeper connection with Him. Others believe that Lent is only for super spiritual people who can handle intense fasting and prayer. But the truth is, Lent is for anyone who wants to grow in their faith and deepen their relationship with God. Perhaps one of the biggest misconceptions about Lent is that it's a time to wallow in guilt and shame. But that's not what Lent is about either. It's a time to acknowledge our mistakes, yes, but it's also a time to experience God's mercy and forgiveness. Lent is often associated with somberness and sadness, but it's not all doom and gloom. In fact, Lent is a time of hope and renewal, a time to rediscover the joy and beauty of the Christian faith. Let's delve deeper into the historical and cultural background of Lent. The earliest recorded observance of Lent dates back to the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, where Christian leaders gathered to establish a standardized calendar for the Christian faith. But the practices that would eventually become Lent were already in place long before that. In the early Christian church, new converts would prepare for baptism through a period of intense prayer, fasting, and study. This preparation period, known as the catechumenate, was a time of spiritual boot camp, where new believers would learn the teachings of Christ and prepare themselves for the sacrament of baptism. As Christianity spread throughout the Roman Empire, the catechumenate became a standard practice in many churches. But with the rise of persecution, the early church had to adapt and change. That's when Lent began to take shape as a distinct period of preparation for Easter. The 40-day period of Lent is deeply symbolic. It represents the 40 days Jesus spent in the wilderness, tempted by Satan, as well as the 40 years the Israelites wandered in the desert. It's a powerful reminder of our own journey of faith, with all its twists and turns. Over time, Lent evolved to include various rituals and practices, such as fasting, prayer, and charitable giving. These practices were meant to help believers prepare their hearts for the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The word Lent itself comes from an Old English word meaning spring or long, which refers to the lengthening of days as spring approaches. It's a fitting name considering the themes of renewal and rebirth that permeate this season. As we've seen, Lent is a complex and multifaceted tradition that's steeped in history and culture. But what's the deeper spiritual significance of Lent? At its core, Lent is a time for reflection, renewal, and preparation. It's a time to take a step back, assess our lives, and ask ourselves some tough questions. What am I living for? What's driving my decisions and actions? Is my heart aligned with God's will? Lent is an opportunity to reboot our spiritual lives, to recommit ourselves to our faith, and to seek a deeper connection with God. It's a time to let go of our pride, our ego, and our self-sufficiency, and to surrender ourselves to God's will. Lent is also a time to rediscover the beauty of simplicity. In a world that values complexity and busyness, Lent invites us to slow down, to simplify, and to focus on what's truly important. As we reflect on the true meaning of Lent, we're forced to confront our own weaknesses and shortcomings. But that's not a bad thing. In fact, it's a necessary step towards growth and transformation. Let's summarize the key points we've discussed about Lent's origins, practices, and meaning. Lent is a 40-day period of reflection, fasting, and prayer that leads up to Easter Sunday. It's a time to reflect on our relationship with God, to repent of past mistakes, and to renew our commitment to our faith. Lent is not just about giving up something we love, but about drawing closer to God. It's not about earning spiritual points or impressing others, but about humbling ourselves before God. Lent is a time for hope and renewal, a time to rediscover the joy and beauty of the Christian faith. And at its core, Lent is an opportunity to reboot our spiritual lives, to recommit ourselves to our faith, and to seek a deeper connection with God. In conclusion, Lent is a powerful tool for spiritual growth and renewal. I hope this video has helped you understand the true purpose and meaning of Lent. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share your thoughts on Lent in the comments below. If you want to learn more about religious traditions, be sure to check out our next video on the history of Easter.